It's another time with Tony, and we are here. It's been 2 weeks. The last video we made was New Year's Eve. And Tony, part of this whole video project has been to document a journey. And we've been kind of quiet for the last 2 weeks because you've been on a little bit of a journey. But before we talk about that, we will tease this to say there is a funny story at the end of this. And it's unfortunate that Gina doesn't want to come and tell her part of it.
Oh, when she talked to you and I,
Yeah. I was peeing my pants.
I wanted her to come on.
Right.
And she still won't do it.
Right.
She still won't do it, but
Yeah.
she made me howl. I mean, and I got to excuse myself. I have a little bit of raspy voice today for this past week. I'm not sure 100% why.
Yeah.
But, part of the process.
You're part of the process. All right. So there's been a good reason why we've been missing in action for the last couple of weeks. So the last time we talked, you were starting a trial drug. And part of the journey was it took you to the hospital a few times.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
So, to say the least, it took me to the hospital.
Yeah.
I had a routine appointment the day after New Year's, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it was just a routine appointment. You get a lot of blood work done. And we went in. No big deal. And got the lab work back and said, you got to get into the hospital immediately. I said, okay. I mean, that was a shock.
Yeah.
I was anemic, everything. I mean, my blood work was out of it. Everything was crazy. And I had to be admitted to the hospital.
And you saw your blanket eat your TV remote.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. That should have been the teaser.
Right.
So I was hallucinating for the last few nights.
Mm-hmm.
I swear to you, I would have gave you my house because I would have bet my house that my blanket was eating my remote control.
And this was all part of, if you don't mind me summarizing, these were all side effects of the trial drug that you were on. You were in your 12th day, I think it was, and these just started to build up like toxins, I guess. And so fast forward in the hospital, basically, kind of had to dry you out, in a sense, from the trial drug, right?
I guess that's how I look at it. The issues were two things. Number one, I believe that I was toxic because of the drug.
Mm-hmm.
And it was making me do weird things.
Mm-hmm.
And Gina would just look at me and say, what are you doing? I said, I swear to God, I'm hallucinating.
Yeah.
I said, I can't believe everything I'm feeling. I mean, and it was because of one of the one of the anti-nausea drugs that had a severe effect on me.
So you were getting nausea from the trial drug.
Yep.
Then they gave you two different drugs for your nausea, and then you started to get these hallucinations. So we sort of had to back off all of that.
Everything.
Yeah. So you came home from UPMC Hillman, and you're making a decision about the trial drug at some point. But we're going to show pictures here. You got home, and the best therapy anybody could get was seeing your babies.
I'll tell you, without it, I don't know what I would do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it was bad up to the point where, I was discussing with my family, should we continue anymore?
Mm-hmm.
Should we just give up?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, and I don't ever want to give up until I have to.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I won't give up now.
Mm-hmm.
But it was bad. It was the worst I've ever felt in my life.
And I think, yeah, we've seen you, even
Bad.
me, when I visited you in the hospital, we had some root beer floats. As a matter of fact, there's a picture of that.
Uh,
You this whole journey you still look really good, to be honest with you. And the fact that you hadn't been sick was kind of like a golden thing. And then so this was kind of like a punch in the gut for you a little bit. But coming home and seeing those babies
oh,
was the therapy.
that was everything to me.
Yeah.
It was like I felt bad. And then I came back and I felt worse. I mean, I didn't think I could feel that bad after this anti-nausea pill and all that. It was crazy. But let me tell you, I always worked in a small hospital. I've always liked the High Valley. I've always put my record on a small hospital, a small, took me a lot to go to a big hospital. These people were great.
And Hillman.
Oh, downtown Hillman. Because I thought going downtown Hillman was going to be terrible. But like one of the things that stands out in my mind was when the ambulance came to pick me up, because that's another thing. My walking isn't good at all. My feet are worse. And they announced over the speaker that I was leaving because people wanted to see me.
Oh, wow.
Before I left.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So the big hospital has a high touch kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, really? That to me was amazing.
Wow.
Amazing.
Well, to be honest with you, it shows as we've known all along, it shows the kind of impact you have on people, even when you're in the hospital and you're sick. That all these people, you're not a traditional patient. You're a person who thinks of others, even when you're thinking that your remote is being eaten by your blanket. You're still a nice person.
Oh my God!
But that's cool to know that they were nice, and I know Gina reflected on the same thing. Just just how caring they were for you. So
there are 3 things that happened.
Okay.
So I'm diabetic. I think
Yeah.
most people would know that at this point. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I went into diabetic shock. I basically my blood sugar was 20. There's a nurse on top of me screaming, Tony, wake up. Wake up. Giving me medicine in my IV, giving me medicine, forcing it in your mouth. And that was scary.
Yeah.
That was really scary. Then, the next night, and thank God for those Dexcoms, because If I didn't have the Dexcom, I think I would have.
Mm.
I don't know what would have happened.
Yeah.
But then I'm laying there the next night, and they do vitals every night. And Ben comes in and says, "Are you okay?" I said, "Yeah, I'm fine." No, he said, "I mean, are you okay?" I said, "I'm perfectly fine." And by the time he says that, I look up, there's 15 people in the room. My uh, my heart rate went up to 198, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And there again, 15 people in the room. They had to give me a medicine that stops your heart for like a minute and hits it back in. So they call that a code there, but it wasn't really a code. But so those 2 nights were, and then they said, if I don't get this going, I'm going to ICU.
Mm.
And the cardiologist laughed. He said, that was the funniest code that I've ever been through. And I said, what do I do? He says, you're just hilarious. And I don't even know what to this day I said. I don't know. But he said it was the funniest that he's been through. So this week was really one of the worst weeks, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. And it knocked you around a little bit mentally, knocked you down physically for sure, and mentally, and I've been fortunate enough now. I did make it to your bedroom.
Oh, yeah, finally. Yeah. It's been 30 years. You finally got it.
But the funny story at the end.
Oh, God.
Wait, are you done talking about UPMC at this point?
Yeah.
You want to tell the funny story and close this out? Take a little nap?
Yeah.
Not together.
Yeah, we are. Bob and Mura were taking a nap. I don't know if he even watches it.
That is a good question if Bob watched it. He's someone we used to work with who thought odd things of us in the past.
Yeah.
And we didn't help it.
And we teased the hell out of him. So I'm laying in my bed, and the aide comes in with a big old Q-tip and, like a package.
Kind of like what they do, the strep throat thing?
Like COVID,
Okay, yeah. All right. Got it.
And he says to me that you got to put this up your butt.
I'm giving it away because I'm laughing because I already know it. I'll keep quiet.
I said, what? He said, yeah, you got to put this up your butt. We got to test for MRSA. And I said, not in your hole. I said, what do you mean not in my hole? What other place is down there? I'm looking at him. I call the nurse and say, I'm a little confused here. He said, I got to put this swab in my butt for MRSA. Oh, she said, no. You just swipe it like a credit card. And I said, do I have to pay? And do I get anything out at the end? And she just was howling. But yeah, you have to gently swipe, not stick it in.
Yeah.
But I was howling. I mean, I just couldn't believe that he would tell me I have to put that up my butt.
Well, we're gonna. Yeah, you need a lot of rest these days, so
Yep.
people should. But there also is days when you're watching TV and a lot of mind time.
Oh yeah.
So if anybody has anything to send, any funny videos, any we love what seems to be watching these, any cards, that kind of stuff. Send them obviously to the PO box that we give you all the time, and
Yeah.
we'll
Like I
make
said, this has
sure.
been a bad week.
Yeah.
It's
So it's time for us to rally you.
yeah. It's been a a really, you know, we didn't know where I was going.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, good news is we made another time with Tony video,
Yeah.
and now everybody knows where we've been,
Yeah.
and you're gonna nap now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got enough.
Thank you, man. I love you.
Thank you. Love you guys out there.